evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Dip Dipianco. Watch the game live in our past episodes on demand on the Pilipinas Live app.
Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Well, we are now in the final stretch of the UAAP Season 86 elimination round with just 5 more days to go. And one team that has been making waves and making all the noise are the UP Fighting Maroons. Now joining us today are UP Assistant Coach Christian Luanzon and Team Captain CJ Cansino. Gentlemen, welcome to the game. And congratulations, Final Four na kayo.
Thank you sa pag-invite po sa amin ni Coach Chris, siyempre. And happy kami na nasa Final Four.
CJ, I want to ask you about that muna kasi a lot of people were assuming na itong UP would make the Final Four easily, the first team to make it there. And sa simula, ang ganda ng simulaan ninyo nung first round, pero dito sa second, it feels like the target is on your backs right now. Parang mas mahirap na manalo. What can you make of yung stretch na to para sa inyo?
Siyempre, UAAP to eh. So, alam mo naman natin na hindi biro makapasok sa UAAP teams and syempre kapag season na doon mas natututo yung mga teams. So meron mga scouting report and syempre mas maraming practice na and games. So mas hindi talaga magiging madali. Mukha lang madali pero hindi talaga.
Coach Christian, 11 games into the elimination round here for UP. What are the things that you've noticed so far for your team? Ano ba yung mga nagustuhan nyo in your stretch so far, especially in the first half of round number 2?
Well, I'm gonna ride on sa sinabi ni CJ, no? In the UAAP, it's hard to win. Coach Gold has always said this, there's no team in the UAAP na yung parang, ibibigay na lang sa'yo. You would always have to work for it. Any team on any given day can beat anyone, and we've seen this all throughout. No, we've seen, FEU beat Ateneo twice, and then FEU got beaten by UST, and then UST, for example, yesterday, put up a scare against Ateneo, and then kami with our 2 losses. So, that being said, there's always room for growth, as Coach Gold would always emphasize. The start of the season doesn't mean it's the end of growth. In fact, every game really is a chance to grow, a chance to learn. And we're just hoping that with the 3 remaining games and in the Final Four, talagang at full strength and at the same time yung chemistry ng team mabuo namin ng gusto.
Coach, you mentioned it a while ago, yung 2 recent losses, and you take a look at the fact that I mentioned to CJ a while ago na it's a bit harder to win right now compared to siguro yung mga earlier games ninyo, or at least it's looking like that. What has the team started to learn about themselves, especially right now na hindi kayo kompleto necessarily in the past few games?
No, I think that they learned that we're just like any team in the league, we're a team of flaws, no? Because if we were not a team of flaws, then we would be perfect right now at 11-0. But the truth is, we're not consistent every quarter. This is something not only the coaches know, but also yung mga players. We've experienced having a tremendous first quarter. I believe in first round namin versus UE. It was like 21-3, to start the game. And then we've had, let's say, yung kalaban namin Lasal yung first round, we were flat in the first half, but we were able to, hold them to only 3 points in the third quarter. But the game is all about consistency for all 4 quarters, and that's something I believe that we have, that remains yet to be seen, that all 4 quarters, if we play our game, if we become consistent in all 4 quarters, we can be an unbeatable team sa ganung regard.
Right. I'm sure CJ agrees with that, but the captain, of course, for the UP Fighting Maroons. CJ, we had this conversation prior to the start of the season. Sabi mo meron kang mga personal goals that you want to achieve. Kasi you missed out last season. No? If I may ask you, how would you evaluate so far your own personal growth here in Season 86?
Well, syempre una sa lahat, sobrang happy ko na alam mo yung nakakatulong ako sa team. And nagagawa ko yung role ko na alam mo yung binigay ni Coach Gold. And hopefully, mas mag-improve ako during the season and sa playoffs. And hopefully, mas makatulong ako sa team.
CJ, you take a look at the twice-to-beat advantage that you're trying to lock down. And well, again, nakita nga natin that this is a team of flaws. Can you tell us about yung concentration na kailangan ninyo to be able to seal yung best twice-to-beat advantage this season?
Well, sa lahat, syempre kailangan one step at a time, one game at a time. And syempre yung focus ng team kailangan nandun dahil mahirap matalo ngayon kasi hindi mo alam kung anong magiging standing mo kung anong magiging number ka sa spot. And lagi naman sinasabi ni Coach Gold na alam mo yun, gawin lang namin yung trabaho namin, gawin namin yung responsibility namin sa team, and let's see kung ano na magiging result nung gagawin natin.
Coach Christian, UP is a stacked team as we all know. Until as of late in your recent games, may mga players that have their breakout games. How do you guys balance the rotation for the Fighting Maroons, especially that you're nearing the end of the elimination round?
Well, there's really no balance to it, no? Well, what I mean by that is you can't really say that CJ Cansino will be getting 15 minutes, the other player will be getting the same minute. It's always about staying ready, no? Regardless of who you are or how many years you've been with the team. And then, if you notice, Coach Gold, it's never about that. It's always the best guys on the floor.
Yeah.
And we've seen this since season 84. Wherein a guy like Carl Tamayo would play the first 3 quarters, pero dahil hindi maganda nilalaro niya, he wouldn't finish the game. The same thing with CJ. He's experienced this a couple times already, and all of the players. So it's always about staying ready, one, and number 2, trusting your teammates. Sa loob. That's why this is really a collective effort, for all the 16 guys with the team.
CJ, hearing all of that, it sounds like may magandang competition internally within the team to make sure each other's sharp. Kumusta naman yung dynamic na yon, especially knowing that minutes are very much up for grabs para sa UP?
Well, sa lahat nagpunta ako dito sa UP dahil alam ko yung competition is, alam mo yung mataas dahil nga, syempre yung mga pumapasok na team na mga players dito is, alam mo yun, mga blue chip. And ang kaganda kay Coach Gold, ang tingin niya sa players is game by game. Kung maganda yung nilalaro mo ngayong araw, maglalaro ka. Kung hindi maganda yung nilalaro mo, upo ka muna. Yun yung maganda kay Coach Gold. So, alam mo yun, nandun pa rin yung hindi nawawala yung competitiveness namin sa practice and sa games dahil alam namin na any minute pwede kaming mabangko.
Coach Christian, you're facing the FEU Tamaraos in your next game. No first round matchup nyo, it went into overtime. How are you guys preparing for FEU in your upcoming matchup?
Yeah, so first of all, our thoughts and prayers go to Cholo Anunuevo. He had I believe, a non-contact injury. I'm not sure if they officially released a statement already, but it didn't look good. We were praying that it's something that's not serious. Second, like I said, any team can beat anyone. FEU is out of contention already, I believe, for the Final Four. So minsan yun yung mga nakakatakot kalaban because basically ang pinaglalaban nila yung school pride, no? So it's, in a sense, it's less of a pressure, So it's important for us not to come out flat tomorrow, especially the first 20 minutes of the game. So but before the game on Saturday, what we're focused on is our practice tonight and also our practice tomorrow.
Coach Christian Luanzon and Team Captain CJ Cansino of the UP Fighting Maroons, thank you very much for joining us here today. Good luck in that game against FEU. And I personally cannot wait for you and LaSalle to meet in the Final Four or maybe beyond. So we'll see you then. Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And after the break, we'll meet the E-Gilas squad that dominated the eFIBA Asian qualifiers as they look ahead to the World Championships. Stay tuned, you're watching The Game. Welcome back to the game. Our Philippine 2K national team, E-Gilas, is heading to the World Championship after dominating the eFIBA Asian qualifiers. Now joining us tonight are the members themselves, Clark Banzon, Isaiah Alindada, Coach Knight Alparaz, and Team Manager Richard Brohan. Mga idol, congratulations and welcome to the game. Pwede ba kami ni Pao magpa-autograph ng controller namin mamaya? Pwede ba yun?
I guess. Nasulat sa script, PS5 controller, wala akong PS5 eh.
Kahit ano lang, pwede nila i-autograph, right? Alright, this, of course, E-Gilas team is part of the squad that competes in our competitions for the eFIBA World Tournament. And kayo guys, si Isaiah and Clark, you already competed in Season 1 of eFIBA. Ano yung mga natutunan nyo? Unahin ko na si Clark that you guys are bringing to your next competition.
Pinaka-important para sa akin yung experience. Kasi nung first eFIBA, ang nakalaban din namin na toughest competition namin is Indonesia. And this year, Indonesia pa rin. So, parang the more you face them, mas lalo mong nababasa kung ano yung mga gagawin nila. Para sa akin, yun yung experience against Indonesia.
I say it feels like na yung chemistry ng team, yung preparation ng team, parang mas okay ngayon compared to at least the previous seasons or at least outside looking in. Can you tell us a bit about yung composition ng team natin ngayon?
Basically, yung composition ng team, yung 4 din last season. Tapos, nadagdagan lang ng isa na bago siya. So, parang it's much easier kasi nga may chemistry na yung 4. So, we just add one, parang maging whole yung team namin kasi at right now siya yung the best at that position.
Yeah.
So, we need him in our team. So, yung chemistry, wino-work talaga yun. Last time, it was hard kasi it was new, the season 1.
Yeah.
Lahat kami 5 new players, new team. So, chemistry is hard. Tulad din yan sa real basketball. So, kapag walang chemistry, you lose games, it's hard for us to win.
It was a challenge, but you guys still won the Southeast Asian crown in Season 1. Coach Knight, tanungin kita, you used to play as well. You were in their position before. But now, as a coach, ano yung mga ibang experiences mo now that you're leading this squad for eFIBA?
Siguro yung naging finals din namin kalaban Indonesia. Malalaman mo talaga na parang yung Indonesia talagang nag-review sila, inaral nila kung paano tayo gumalaw. Ang laki nung adjustment na ginawa nila. Yung improvement nila sa team, pataas ng pataas. And sinasabi ko naman sa team na hindi kami pwedeng magstay lang sa ganito. Kailangan, kung gusto namin makalaban yung talagang best of the best, kailangan namin mag-improve.
Yeah, so Richard, now the reason why we all have you here is because grabbing achievement nyo recently, being able to make it to the World Championship. You're all going to be going to Sweden to join the only Asian country to do so, if I'm not mistaken. Sir, can you tell us how much of achievement this is for yung program natin, considering na Season 2 pa lang? So napakabago in hindsight, in retrospect, considering the esports scene para sa 2K.
This is a very huge deal for everyone, not only for the players, not only for the federation, but sa basketball community, NBA 2K community of the Philippines. We've been on the scene 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Talagang hinihintay namin yung opportunity for us to be able to compete at this level. Naging esports na ngayong NBA 2K. And now, the spotlight is on us. Basically, you mentioned that we won the Asia qualifiers. We're now headed to Sweden in 2 weeks' time to compete for the championship. And we're going to go for it.
And of course, going for it with a great resume, they swept the double round robin of the eliminations sa FIBA Asian qualifiers, including, hindi ko talaga alam kung typo to 221 to 52 win against India. Clark, ano nangyari? Sorry.
Ang goal po kasi talaga namin is i-break yung record, which is previously been raked din ng US from Great Britain.
Yeah.
I think they scored 182. So for us, ang goal namin is yun nga, to dominate.
Yeah.
So we tried to break it and we scored 221.
Yeah, I think you dominated nga. 221 to 50.
Pag tama yung math ko, 169 yung lamang niya kung tagal ko inisip yun. But I say, how does it help? Pareho lang ba yung concept ng you're playing in a real basketball game and you're playing in 2K as a video game? Nakakatulong ba na medyo alam mo yung rules of the game in the actual sport compared to the e-game?
Yeah, actually nakakatulong talaga siya kasi may mga certain plays tayo na nire-run din in real life, tas nire-run din namin in-game. So, Diba, may elevator place, gano'n. Minsan yan din namin. Pero hindi siya actually the same kasi you can do everything sa video game.
Right.
In real life naman, I can't dunk, I
Yeah.
can shoot keys as consistent na
Yeah.
ginagawa ko sa in-game. So, yun lang yung magiging factor niya. So,
Yeah.
parang tayong mga Filipino, alam na lahat, mataas IQ natin sa basketball. So,
Yeah.
we're applying it here in-game. So, napapakita naman natin. So, champion tayo ngayong Southeast Asian qualifier.
Yeah, you know, I completely understand that. Itong si Dip, he can only shoot in real life. Eh. Pero pag sa esports, wala ata. Pero, Coach Knight, coaching a team, na-mention niya, mga elevator plays, na-mention niya yung mga, I'm sure, mga ibang concept that we want to apply sa esports na nakita natin sa, real-world basketball. How do you coach that? How do you teach that? How do you become the Tim Cone, the Chot Reyes of esports?
Well, madaming film reviews. And then, yung mga nakikita namin, pinapanood namin, ginagawa namin sa scrims. And tinatry namin ma-perfect lahat ng gusto naming mga defensive schemes or plays na gusto namin gawin. And then, tinatry pa namin i-improve na habang pinapanood namin yung mga games namin. Hinahanapan namin saan pa kami pwede mabutasan or ano pa yung kulang sa ginagawa namin.
Sir Richard, again, this is a huge feat for your team. Of course, e-games has grown to be a bigger sport. But for those who don't know much about yung 2K and of course yung e-basketball, as we say, what do you want the fans to know? That yung mga preparations behind the scenes na ginagawa nyo for this competition.
For those who are trying out NBA 2K for the first time, usually you go and dive into yung quick play or quick game where you use the NBA teams. Try out the My Career where you can customize the players, create your own possession, build, and then play with your friends. And then yung next level dun is really competing. Maybe if you are good enough, you might have a career like these guys here are pro players for NBA 2K.
Coach Richard, before we let all of you go, syempre we're still talking about the World Championship here. What would it take for this group to be competitive on that stage? Kasi I'm sure the preparation, and all of the trainings that you'll have to do have to ramp up another level para maging competitive tayo doon.
We need to be very smart. We're going to go up against the top teams in the world right now with the USA team and Turkey team. The competition will be different. We expect different from the Asian region, their play style. So we will be watching a lot of films, study the tendencies also, and make sure that we have a game plan going to that competition in 2 weeks' time.
Ladies and gentlemen, our E-Gilas team who's going to represent us in the world stage. There was just a FIBA Basketball World Cup. There was just Asian Games for basketball. Let's see what these guys could do sa World Championships on a different stage as well. Guys, maraming salamat. Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so more sports stories after the break. Keep it here. You're watching The Game. Welcome back. You're watching The Game. The NBA saw some narrow victories earlier today. The Phoenix Suns escaped the Chicago Bulls in overtime thanks to Grayson Allen's career high of 8 made three-pointers, finishing with 26 big points. KD also adds 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists to the mix as they take win number 4. The back and forth of the Warriors and the Nuggets end with Denver on top, 108-105. Finals MVP Nikola Jokic tallies another double-double, finishing with 35 points and 13 rebounds, while Reggie Jackson drops some buckets, finishing with 20 points, along with 2 rebounds and 6 assists.
Meantime, in the collegiate ranks, the race to the 4th slot is up for grabs for both the men's and women's basketball tournaments. This weekend starts off hot with a match between the UP Fighting Maroons and the DLSU Lady Archers on November 11. That's on Saturday. A win would help both teams as the Fighting Maroons are still looking for that top 2 seed, while LaSalle needs a win to stay in the running to make the Final Four. Now it's a similar story for Adamson and FEU as they make their last stretch in the hopes of moving forward. Meanwhile, the Ateneo Lady Eagles are hoping to secure the 4th spot and move on to the semifinals. It's an even tighter race to the Final Four in the men's division. A battle to stay in the top 2 seeds will kick off also on November 11 as UP battles FEU and NU goes up against UST. Things only get hotter from there as the winner of the battle between Adamson and Ateneo will claim a solo 4th spot while UE hopes to tie for 5th. Catch all the games live at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. And you can also watch the games on our show live and on demand on the Pilipinas Live app for just 149 pesos a month. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dip Dipianco.
I'm Paulo De Rosario. This has been The Game.